to speak. Anyway, my name is John McCann. I'm a Republican running for state representative. I have a very nostalgic view of politics, and I'm an 11-year teacher. And one of the things I do every year is I teach my students. I'm actually a civics teacher. Well, anyway, I show the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I don't know if you've ever seen that. And I teach 8th graders, and so after a week long of standardized testing, and they're wiped out, so we show a movie. And it's actually from 1939. And when I tell the students that, they all rumble and groan. They're like, "Ah, come on." So, and then it starts, and it's in black and white, and I hear the second round of grumbling. But the movie tells a story of a common man who gets involved in politics, and he becomes U.S. Senator. And he fights against the system, and he sees a lot of impediments in his way, but he continues to fight. And there's this final scene that's pretty amazing, where he's up there giving this filibuster, where it's just this endless speech, and he ends up collapsing. It's amazing to see. Even the students, these 8th grade kids, are wound up from a week of testing, are up to glued to the television screen, and a pin could drop, and their mouths are wide open, and it's a very powerful film. And much like Mr. Smith, I don't have any background in politics at all. I'm an 11-year teacher. I don't have a political machine behind me. I'm not the party-endorsed candidate. I don't have a lot of money. I have a small campaign. It's my brother right there and my cousin. We're a tight-knit group, and we're fighting a fight out there, hitting the doors and working hard. And I'm still a teacher today. But I want to share a little bit about myself. I grew up right in front of Holmesburg Prison. My mom works at St. Dominic's Rectory, and my dad's a Teamster. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college, and I went to Father Judge, where I also had a basketball career, and then I went on to Princeton University, and I'm a graduate of Princeton University. I was a history major there, and when I graduated, I spurred some other opportunities in the private sector to go into teaching. I always liked working with the youth, and I had a passion for coaching. I coached numerous sports. I actually coached high school basketball for 5 years as well. In my time teaching, I really felt empowered, and I wanted to do something a little bit more to have a greater impact. So I actually went back to law school while I was teaching, and I went to Temple Law. I went nights. It was a rough schedule. I left my house most days 6:30, and didn't get back till 10. And then I graduated. And since graduation in 2010, I just kind of been helping friends, family, doing some pro bono work, legal work on the side, while still continuing teaching. Also, I started a family, and we had a decision, like a lot of other people, a lot of my friends in Northeast Philadelphia. They have a choice whether they're going to stay here or move other places. And I know many of them have decided to leave. Not me though. I stayed, and I look around, I think it's a great place to grow up. It builds character, and there's a certain sense here that you can't find anywhere. And all my family, we live within really a 5-minute drive. It's a great place. And you really feel this tight-knit community that I don't think other places feel. A couple things I think, and I'm running on being an 11-year teacher, I think there's education is of the utmost importance in society. I think we need people with more of a teaching background that are legislating, making decisions on education, because oftentimes politicians like to talk about what's good for education, but it's really an intricate relationship between not only the community, the school, administration, the parents, the students, the teachers, the state, and even now the federal government is involved in education. So it's definitely a complex relation, and education is of the utmost importance, because if you get a kid a good education, they're going to stay out of jail. They'll grow up to be good parents. They're going to contribute to society in a positive way. And I think that's really important. And even nowadays, on the School Reform Commission in Philadelphia, they don't have one person with public education teaching experience on that commission. I think that's an injustice. It's not, and I know like politicians like to say, tell teachers what's best for education. But I don't hear the same thing just because they were students. I don't hear the same thing them telling doctors how to practice medicine just because they were patients. So I think education is of the utmost importance, and I think we need more people with teaching backgrounds as politicians and legislature. And another thing, I think it's awful how out of control crime has gotten in the city of Philadelphia, if you've known. We have the top murder rate of any of the 10 largest cities in the whole country. And I think the state needs to take aggressive action and step in and help the city out. I also think legislators should lead by example. Many times they're looking to cut services for citizens, and I think they need to lead by example. They make $80,000 a year approximately, and they also get $163 a day per diem, which I think is outrageous. So one of my things, if I'm elected, I will not take the $163 a day per diem. I also think the middle class is shrinking. Not enough people are talking about that. I think they need to grow businesses and opportunities for good paying jobs here in Pennsylvania. At the same time, protect workers' rights. I think it's important. And lastly, I think it's important that people outside of politics get involved. Oftentimes the tone becomes very harsh, and many times you see gridlock, and not enough people working together. And I think we need people that haven't grown up in the system from the outside, working together, offering new ideas. And anyway, much like Mr. Smith, I'm fighting on. I know we have a really small campaign, and I want to leave a little anecdote. I turned 34 this past Saturday on St. Patrick's Day, and I was talking to a very good friend of mine. His dad is a fine Irishman, and the family it just came over not too long ago from Ireland, and his dad always offers me kind of sage advice. And I was talking about, you know, my race and how there was a lot of pressure for me to step down because I wasn't the endorsed party candidate, and a lot of people were telling me there's no shot of ever winning. You know, and he just looked at me and said, "John, we're Irish. The one thing about being Irish, when someone tells you you can't do something, that's when you prove them wrong." So I'm hope to prove them wrong. I'm hope to work hard, and if you have any questions or anything, my website is yeswemcan.com. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time.